Hey guys, so you'll have to excuse the sound of my voice in this video. I'm actually getting over a cold at the moment and I'm planning on filming 2 more videos after this one, so you'll have to put up with my voice for a little bit longer. But as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be doing Project Pan again. If you guys have been following me for quite a while, you may remember a few years back I tried Project Pan and I failed. I couldn't stick to it, and I kind of have some ideas of why that was, why I wasn't able to stick with it, and hopefully I have some more ideas now for how to make this successful. So kind of recently I've been getting stressed again about the size of my collection and the fact that I'm not really using up many makeup products and stuff. This is going to be a purely makeup based Project Pan, by the way. So yeah, like I said, I've kind of been getting stressed out about how much I have in my collection, the fact I'm not using things up, and I guess the main reason why I wanted to do this is because I don't really have the money to keep spending on makeup. I want to kind of rein in my spending habits again because they are just off the charts, and yeah, so that's kind of why I want to do this. And I've kind of got some better ideas on how to do a Project Pan, how to make it a bit more successful, how to keep track of things, because I feel like when I did it last time I didn't really know what I was doing. I obviously got the kind of general concept of Project Pan, but I was kind of just, when I would film update videos, I would just kind of sit down and kind of talk to you guys about how hard it was or how I was struggling with it, what things I wanted to buy, and not really kind of giving you updates on how I was getting on with the actual using up of the products. So this time around, like I said, I've kind of got a few other ideas and better ideas on how to do this. And about a week or so ago I stumbled across this girl's channel. Her username is prettypistol86. I'll leave her link below if you want to check her out. But basically she does a lot of Project Pan videos. I feel like she's kind of always on a Project Pan. She's always doing some kind, whether that's 10 pan, 20 pan, pan that palette. She's done things like finish 7 by spring, that sort of thing. So she's kind of a seasoned pro at doing Project Pans. So I've kind of picked up a lot of tips and tricks from her on how to maybe make this a bit more successful this time around. She has some really great videos, really great tips. She's actually done a couple of videos talking specifically about her tips and tricks for having a successful Project Pan. So like I said, I'm going to be incorporating some of her ideas into my one because I feel like the last time I did this I didn't really know what I was doing. So this time around I'm hoping to actually be successful and actually show you my progress on the actual products rather than just moaning, because nobody wants to sit there and listen to a girl moaning about how she can't buy makeup. So I will be doing update videos. I'm not sure how frequently I want to do them, whether I want to do them kind of month by month or every couple of weeks, or just kind of as and when I feel like I've made a decent enough progress to update you guys on. So if you have any ideas on when you want me to update you, leave that in the comment below and I can obviously take that into consideration when I film my updates. But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of get into it now. So I have obviously picked out 10 products that I want to use up, and in case you don't know what Project Pan is, this is kind of the first time you're coming across that term. What it basically means is you take 10 or however many you specify, but for me it's 10 items, whether that's makeup, hair care, skincare, whatever you like, a mixture. Mine's going to be makeup based. You take those 10 items and until you've used all of those up in their entirety, you don't buy any more makeup or hair care, skincare, whatever it is that you're trying to focus on. So when I did this last time, I kind of picked my 10 products and away I went, and I had no kind of deadline for it. It was just kind of, well, I'll just not buy any new makeup until I've used these up. And I kind of didn't really realise how long it was going to take me to use up certain products. I had a lot of more full, like, products that I hadn't used very much, so they were obviously going to take a bit longer to use, and there was kind of no light at the end of the tunnel. I couldn't see the end of it and it just kind of dragged on and it really got to me. So this time around I am setting myself a deadline, so I'm giving myself 2 months to use up these products, and I will get into these products in a moment and show you what I'm trying to use up. But yes, I've set myself a deadline of 2 months, so obviously hopefully I will be able to use up all of these products in those 2 months, but if I'm not able to, at the very least I will have made a significant dent in them, which will help me when I come around to trying to use them up in another Project Pan. And I feel like by setting yourself a deadline, you're going to be that much more focused on using these products up, because you know, oh my gosh, in 2 months time I need to have used these products up. Obviously you don't really, but you kind of have that kind of mindset that you've got 2 months to use these up, you need to really focus on them. So you're not going to be reaching for other lipsticks or blushes or whatever it might be. You're going to really focus on these and maybe find other ways of using them, kind of multitask them, so you can get through them a bit quicker. So that's what I'm doing. I feel like I've gone over everything. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go through the products that I am going to be trying to use up over the next couple of months. I've kind of tried to do a full face of makeup for the most part. There are certain products that aren't in here that, like for example, I don't have a face powder in here because I only use the one kind and I already have a backup of that one, and like I said, I only use the one kind. If I had several different face powders, then I might try to focus on using one of them up, but because I only use the one and I don't have a huge collection of them, I'm not trying to get through them, so I don't have that in here, but obviously I will be using it. So that kind of goes the same for a few other products. There are stuff that, or there are categories of products that I don't have in here, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be adding them into my makeup look. I'm not going to be just using these products and nothing else, but for the categories I have here, I'm going to be focusing on these. Does that make sense? I hope so. Let's get into what I'm actually using up. So, for my foundation, I'm going to be using up the Bourjois 123 Perfect CC Cream. The shade I have is 31 Ivory. And what I've tried to do is, this is a really difficult packaging to try and see where the product's up to, but I think, kind of from the feels of it, I think I'm up to this mark here. So this is what I'm going to be trying to do to kind of give you guys updates and really show you how I'm getting on. I've tried to, where I can, mark on the packaging kind of where I'm starting from, and then when I come to do my update, I'll show obviously where my next mark is for where I've gotten down to. So starting off at this line right here, so obviously next time hopefully it'll be down here somewhere and there'll be another mark, and you can kind of see the difference of the progress that I've been making over however long that period is. And that's going to help me as well, because it'll kind of give me a feel for how long it takes to use products up for future project plans. So like I said, this one is up to that mark. For concealer, I have the Revlon Colour Stay Concealer, and the shade I'm in is Light. And I've kind of used a hairdryer to melt some of the product down to kind of get a kind of fair starting point, if you want to call it that. So this is where I'm up to on this one. So not too much more to go, but I find I use so little of this at a time because I do just use it under my eyes. I have another concealer that I use for other areas of my face. So I use so little of this at a time that it just seems to be dragging on forever. So I want to really focus on this and maybe use it in a few different ways. Use it on other areas of my face, maybe use it over my eyelids to conceal them if they're particularly veiny or dark on a particular day. Like I had a late night last night, so I used this over my eyelids just to kind of conceal them a bit because they were looking really red and not very good at all. So anyway, that's where I'm up to on that one. Like I said, I'm not going to be trying to use up a face powder specifically for Project Pan. So moving on to bronzer, I have the Body Shop Honey Bronzer in Light Matte, and the packaging is like busted up. So this is how far I've already hit pan on. So it's just the kind of center ring of the pan is showing through at the moment. So I'm going to be working on this. This has taken quite a while to hit pan on. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in a couple of months this will be gone. I'm not too sure if I will have used this up, but I want to kind of get this used up whilst it's still the kind of colder months before the sun starts really coming out and I start getting a bit more tan, because this is quite a light shade and I have some darker bronzers that I tend to reach for in the summer months, so I want to try and get this used up before I get a bit more tan. For blush, I have a couple of options. So first off, I have this e.l.f. Studio Blush in Candid Coral. This is one of my all-time favourite blushes, but I haven't really been reaching for it recently. As you can see, I've already hit pan on it. It's a beautiful kind of corally shade with golden shimmer running through it, but it's kind of on the sheer side, which is why I haven't really been reaching for it much recently. So I want to try and get this used up for days when I want a more sheer blush for whatever reason, or maybe use this as a bit of a highlighter over the top of another blush, or maybe put down a cream blush first and then this on top just to make it pop a little bit more, but that is the kind of starting point for this blush. And then the other blush that I have is this. This is Benefit's Coralista, which I depotted to put in one of my Z palettes, but as you can see, again, I've already hit pan on this, but I've just not really been reaching for it because it's been in my Z palette and it's in the Z palette that I tend to reach for least, so I kind of just forget about this. So I want to just get this used up. It is one of my favourite blushes. This is more corally than the Candid Coral blush. Really, really beautiful, has a gorgeous glowy sheen to it. Really love it, but like I said, just not been reaching for it. So hopefully I can get this used up in the 2 months along with this blush as well. For eyeshadow base, I'm trying to work on this paint pot from MAC. This is Soft Ochre. As you can see, hopefully, I've got quite a bit of a dip going on in there, but these take ages to use up. The only other paint pot I've ever had from MAC was Painterly, and I probably got it to about the same amount of usage, or I don't know if I'm making sense. I used up about the same amount as I've used up in this when I had Painterly, but I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of come away from the edges, and they tend to do that when they start to get a bit old and start drying up. But this one is surprisingly still really creamy. It doesn't smell funny at all. It still blends really nicely over the lid, isn't patchy or anything. So I think this is still fine to use. Whereas my Painterly one, when it kind of came away from the edges, it was really dried up and I ended up having to chuck it out, which is what I don't want to happen with this one. These are so expensive. Obviously you get a lot of product for your money and it lasts ages, but I don't want this to dry out and I'll have to chuck this away as well. So I want to try and get this used up. Might be a bit difficult, but I have a few different eyeshadow bases, so I want to focus on this one rather than kind of reaching for different ones each different day of the week. So hopefully I can get this used up. I'm not too sure about this one either. I'll see how I go, but at the very least I can make a big dent in it. And if I can kind of get it down a lot more and there's not so much product left over and it dries out, I won't feel quite as bad about having to get rid of it as I would if I had to throw out this whole container full of it. Now onto eyeshadows, and I've just picked one eyeshadow from a palette. I'm not trying to use up the entire palette, and I've just picked one eyeshadow because eyeshadows are one of the things that I really love. It's kind of my favourite makeup category, if you like. I know some people really love blushes and others really like lipsticks or mascaras. For me it's eyeshadows. I love playing around with them. So if I were to pick, say, 4 different eyeshadows to kind of give me a complete eye look for each day, and just had to use just those eyeshadows for the next 2 months, I would get really bored of this project pan really quickly. I like switching up my look and trying different things, and I know a lot of my looks do look very similar, but for me I like playing around with the different formulas and brands and colours and stuff. So I've just picked one eyeshadow. It is from the Sleek Storm palette, which I used to absolutely love, and I just don't really reach for it anymore. So the shade I've picked is this one here. They don't have names, but this is just a really shimmery, almost metallic-y champagne beige colour. And I picked this because it's kind of a standard lid colour. I can put that all over my lid, and then I can use any of my other eyeshadows to create a look around it. So I could just do that all over the lid, maybe a little bit of my bronzer in the crease for an everyday look, or I can switch up, do something more colourful. I can put kind of a purple on the outer half of it, or blue or green, or whatever I want to do. I can keep it really simple and daytime appropriate, or I can get it a bit more smoky. And I figured I can use this up on the lid. I can maybe, if I use a fluffy brush, I can do it as a brow highlight. It might be a bit frosted and kind of shimmery, but for a night out, maybe something like that, it would look okay. I can use it in the inner corner, and I could even maybe try to use it as a cheek highlight, something like that. So as you can see, I haven't actually hit pan on this. There's the tiniest bit of a dip in it, not really at all. So I'm hoping if I focus on using that eyeshadow every single day, then I can make a significant dent in it and hopefully use it up, but we'll see how we go with that. For eyeliner, I have this little one from Model Co in black, and I feel like I'm maybe going to get a few negative comments about this just because of how small this is and how I've kind of hit pan on a lot of the products that I'm trying to use in this, and the fact that a lot of the products are kind of closer to being finished than they are to being full. So I just kind of want to say I'm trying to pick out products that will be easy for me to use up in 2 months, because I don't want to have the same thing happen where I get to the end and I haven't really used up very many and I get really discouraged with it. I want this to kind of be a stepping stone into doing more project pans. So I'm hoping if I've picked smaller products like this, or things that I've already hit pan on, it kind of makes things a bit easier for me to use them up, and then hopefully that will kind of give me the encouragement and motivation to do more project pans in the future. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there in case anybody was thinking, oh, you're cheating, you know, you're using products that are half used up already. That just makes it easier. You're still using up the product to get rid of them, and, you know, still getting your money's worth out of them, and it just kind of keeps you feeling motivated and encouraged to keep going. So Just wanted to say that, but like I said, this is the Model Co eyeliner. I still have quite a bit left, and I want to focus on using this up because I have at least two more full-size black eyeliners in my collection, as well as an array of colourful Urban Decay ones that I kind of switch between. So I want to focus on getting this used up, and then I can move on to one of my other full-size black eyeliners. For mascara, I have the Origins Ginseng Brightening Mascara. This is just a little deluxe sample size that I got in a set of the Origins Ginseng. I got a face cream and an eye cream as well. This is a really nice mascara, and I've only used it a handful of times, so this is basically full. So I want to just focus on getting this used up and get it out of my collection, and then move on to some of my other mascaras. Mascaras is another thing where I kind of flip between different brands and different kinds, kind of depending on my mood, but I'm hoping if I focus on using this up, then I can get it used up before it dries up or the formula changes, because I like the formula as it is with this one. So hopefully I can get this used up in the next couple of months. And then finally, the last product I have is a lip product, and it is this Barely Blush lipstick from 17. It's one of their Supreme Shine lipsticks. I hauled this maybe 2 years ago, and it's still one of my kind of go-to everyday lipsticks, but again, I've been switching out for different things. I've been kind of wearing brighter lipsticks recently, so I figured since this is such a nice everyday lipstick, I can wear it every day and it's not kind of too out there. It's still kind of weather appropriate, season appropriate. It's not like picking a really dark berry lipstick in the middle of spring, summer. So it's not going to kind of look out of place. So hopefully I can get this used up. And what I've done with this one, which is another kind of tip that I picked up from Pretty Pistol 86, is to roll up the lipstick, and then there's the little plastic stopper, so you just kind of roll it down, because I don't plan on digging into these because I want to use things up, and I'm not too fussed about taking the time to be as diligent as kind of digging into the bit that's kind of underneath the stopper. So I'm just going as far as the stopper, and then what I've done is held it up to the cap and marked on there, and as you can hopefully see, that's where I'm up to. That's how much I have to use up. So this is a really nice creamy lipstick, so hopefully it won't take too long to use it up, and like I said, I can wear it every day. So they are the 10 items that I'm trying to use up over the next couple of months. Wish me luck. Hopefully I will be able to do it, and then I can go on and do more project pans and pan that palettes and all that kind of stuff, because I really do enjoy watching those videos, and I really do like being able to use up a product and feeling like I've really got my money's worth out of it, and not feel guilty for just letting things sit there and either get too old and go bad, or just dry out or whatever and have to chuck them out. So yeah, if you guys are doing any kind of project pan, then let me know in the comments, and if you have any tips for me, any other tips, then please let me know in the comments below, because I'm very eager to learn as much as I can about making this as easy on myself as possible. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and check out all of my links below. Make sure you check out Pretty Pistol as well. I think her name is Cherish, I'm not sure, but definitely check her out if you like these videos, because like I said, she has got loads of them, and she recommends a few other people as well. I can't remember their names off the top of my head. I think Faith is K is one of them. Can't remember the others. If I can find them, I will leave them linked below as well, in case you like watching those kinds of videos, because they're all really great. I've been watching them as well. Jam Beauty, she's got a number after her name, I can't remember that either. I'll try to remember to link her down below as well. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!